Every species voted to enslave Earth. Now they're begging for mercy. The Galactic Council chamber was the largest gathering place in the known universe. Its vaulted ceilings of crystalline alloy shimmer with starlight, projected from distant galaxies across the dome. Delegates 100 species, scaled, furred, feathered, mechanical, filled the tiers of seating. Their voices, translated and filtered into neutral tones, rose into a tidal wave of debate. At the center of the chamber, atop a circular dais, a shimmering hologram of a blue and green world floated in silence. Earth, the speaker of the council, High Consul Wildthera of the Seraphim Collective, struck her staff of order against the dais. A ripple of quiet spread through the chamber. "Delegates," she said, her luminous eyes narrowing. "We convene today to resolve the fate of the Terran species, self-identified as humans. Their expansion beyond soul has drawn concern. Their aggression, their unpredictability, their death-world origins present a threat to the peace we have built." A hiss rose from the Renari delegation. Their leader, scales glittering with bioluminescence, leaned forward. "Threat? They are contagion. Their soldiers decimated a Renari outpost merely because of a border misunderstanding. They should be shackled, their industry bent to serve the greater order of the galaxy." A roar of approval followed from dozens of delegations. Even the normally stoic Venari, insectoid and calculating, clicked their mandibles in agreement. The few dissenters, species who had traded with humans or admired their creativity, were drowned in the sea of condemnation. One by one, votes were cast. One by one, the decision solidified. When the final tally appeared above the dais, it was unanimous. Every species in the Galactic Council voted to enslave Earth, the beginning of chains. The fleets came swiftly. Human colonies across Proxima, Vega, and Kepler were seized. Orbital bombardments shattered defenses. Millions were rounded up, stripped of weapons, and shackled in energy restraints. Their leaders, politicians, generals, scientists, were dragged before the council and condemned to labor under the very species they once traded with. On Earth itself, the sky turned black with alien ships. Cities burned. Megastructures were erected in orbit, designed to harvest humanity's labor and resources. Humans became slaves. They mined exotic ores on distant asteroids under the watchful gaze of the Renari. They were forced to cultivate food on toxic worlds for the insectoid Venari. The avian Talari made them build vast monuments to alien gods. To the council, it was done. Humanity had been broken, but the council miscalculated. Humanity bent, yes. They adapted, yes. They played the part of the enslaved. But behind the lower heads and silent compliance, something stirred. Something older than the council could imagine. The middle, the silence before the storm. It began quietly. A mining outpost in the Zerith Belt reported a system's failure. Its reactors had gone critical, killing both the alien overseers and their human slaves. The council investigated, but the cause was inconclusive. Then a Talari cruiser vanished while transporting human laborers. No wreckage, no signal. Gone. Soon after, supply convoys carrying Terran workers began suffering mysterious pirate attacks. But the pirates never kept cargo or ships. They only freed humans. The council dismissed it as coincidence. Isolated incidents, they said. Tragedies, but irrelevant. Until the silence began. In every labor camp, every factory, every mine, humans began to fall quiet. They stopped singing in their crude work songs. They stopped shouting in defiance. They stopped speaking at all. The galaxy learned a truth known only to soldiers who had fought humans before. When humans go silent, they are preparing for war. The uprising. It erupted not in one place, but everywhere at once. On the Venari hive world, a detachment of human miners stormed the armory with improvised explosives crafted from stolen chemical vats. With alien rifles in hand, they tore through their overseers. On the Talari holy world, humans building a monument to the avian gods suddenly turned their tools into weapons. They massacred their guards and burned the half-completed spire to the ground. On the Renari slave fleets, humans hijacked the ships, turning orbital lasers against the very vessels that had enslaved them. It was not random chaos. It was coordinated. Across light years, humans rose in perfect unison. Smuggled messages, encoded in music and simple carvings, had passed unnoticed by alien masters. A hidden resistance had been built over years, invisible beneath the Council's arrogance. Now it burned across the stars. The Council dispatched fleets, armadas vast enough to shatter moons. But when they arrived, they found not scattered slaves, but armies. Humans born on the death world Earth had weaponized everything at their disposal. Poisonous flora became chemical warfare. Primitive shipyards became factories of war. Entire ecosystems were turned into traps. And worst of all, the enslaved had captured alien ships, studied their technology, and improved it. For every battle the Council won, they lost 2 more. For every ship they destroyed, 3 more hijacked vessels appeared. The galaxy trembled. The turning point. The breaking point came at the Battle of Cinder's Vale. The Council had gathered its greatest fleets, over 1,000 warships, commanded by the Seraphim Collective itself. They expected to crush the Terran Rebellion in one decisive blow. Instead, they encountered something new. When the fleet emerged from hyperspace, they faced not ragtag human rebels, but a fully organized Terran armada, captured alien battleships, reforged with human ingenuity, hybrid war machines powered by both plasma and fission, swarms of drones guided by crude but effective artificial intelligence. At the center was a human flagship, the Resolute, once a Seraphim dreadnought, now gutted and reforged with Earth's brutal engineering. The Council charged. Plasma beams cut through the void. Missiles streaked like falling stars. For hours, the battle raged. And then, the humans went silent. No transmissions. No battle cries. Nothing. A ripple of dread passed through alien admirals. They had heard the stories. Silence meant humans were about to unleash something unspeakable. When it came, it was not a weapon but a tactic. Human ships powered down reactors, mimicking destruction. They drifted, cold and dead. Alien fleets closed in for the kill. And then, in unison, the Terran fleet reactivated. Hidden reserves ignited. Engines roared. They struck from every angle. Suicide runs, ramming tactics, close quarters boarding actions. Ships that should never have been weapons, refueling stations, freighters, mining barges, had been converted into bombs. The Council's 1,000 ships were reduced to ash in a single day. From that moment, the galaxy knew the humans could not be enslaved. The end, begging for mercy. Years passed. The rebellion became a war. The war became a purge. Council fleets collapsed. Alien strongholds fell. Species that had voted to enslave Earth now face extinction. The humans, once broken in chains, marched as conquerors. Entire worlds surrendered without a fight, their inhabitants kneeling as Terran soldiers descended. Others resisted and were eradicated. At last, the Galactic Council, once a symbol of unity, was reduced to ruins. Its chamber, once filled with voices calling for Earth's enslavement, now echoed with silence. The surviving delegates, those not yet hunted down, gathered in desperation. High Consul Wildthra herself stood before the remnants, her luminous eyes dimmed with fear. And then they came. The doors of the chamber opened, and Terran soldiers marched in. Their armor was scarred but unyielding. At their head was a single human, Admiral Marcus Kane, leader of the Terran Resistance, now the Terran Dominion. He walked to the dais where Earth's hologram once hovered. Now, the hologram shifted to show the galaxy itself, bathed in red markers of Terran control. You voted, Kane said, his voice cold, his eyes burning with fury. Every one of you voted to enslave us, to chain our children, to burn our homes, to erase our future. The delegates trembled. Some begged for forgiveness. Others offered tribute, servitude, anything to be spared. Kane's voice did not rise. It did not need to. We bent. We broke. And then we rose. Now you know the price of your arrogance. The chamber shook as a hologram shifted again, this time to Earth, shining free beneath the stars. Earth will never kneel again, Kane said. But you will. And so it was that the galaxy, once united in enslaving humanity, fell to its knees before the very species that it sought to chain. From that day forward, a whisper echoed through every world, every system, every council chamber that remained. Never enslave a death worlder, for when they rise, they do not stop. And the galaxy would remember, because now they were begging for mercy.